Hi my little rays, it's Ray from Rayro Studios, and today we're going to be doing the Color Wheel Challenge. Again. Yeah, the first batch of Color Wheel Challenge videos were, let's just say, lacking. The only reason that they're still up in the first place is because that one of my most popular videos is that Color Wheel Challenge, so I guess it will just have to stay up for the sake of it. But nonetheless, I'm doing a redo of it, so let's get into the video. Okay, for the color red, I decided that I was going to do Steven from, Steven Universe. Now, in all honesty, Steven wasn't my favorite character. Peridot actually was my favorite character, and it was mainly because, well, come on guys, look at her. Look at the way she walks. Look at the way she talks. This is just the definition of someone with autism. I also like her because she's mostly like me and my brother. She has weird mannerisms. She takes everything literally. She finds it hard to speak what's on her mind. She can't understand social cues. And just watch her make art just for a minute, and then you'll see why I love Peridot so much. But besides Peridot, Steven Universe is a beautifully crafted show with characters galore, art styles and backgrounds that are so intricate, so detailed, so absolutely unique to you in that show that even if you show someone a random location within the series, they would be able to go like, oh wait, that's the Steven Universe show. And as someone who's making a show, I find that an amazing detail that all shows should have. Another amazing thing the show does well is its cast of characters once again. Because you're never thinking of Connie's storyline and being like, it's so boring. Or wishing you spent more time with the Crystal Gems because the characters on Earth are boring. No, you're actually wanting to spend more time with the Earth characters because of their interesting plot lines or their interesting storylines. And yeah, there are some things I don't like about the show, like the fact that the Diamonds literally killed thousands of planets and was forgiven with a drop of a hat. Pink Diamond, aka Rose Quartz, being the absolute worst person to ever exist ever, and so much more. But hey, we got a kiss scene, a lesbian kiss scene, so I wasn't too sad about it. Overall, Steven Universe is one of my favorite shows and no one can ever tell me anything else about it. I love the Scooby-Doo show. It's actually one of my favorite franchises. The mystery, the comedy, the characters, I couldn't find anything to not like about it. And yes, its name has been tarnished many times already. It doesn't mean that the previous works aren't as amazing. Like, tell me how you can make movie after movie after movie after movie and I'm still interested in this plot line. And on top of the amazing characters and amazing stories and mysteries, it's also an incredibly complex but also very simple formula. Heck, I would go as far to say that you would be a horrible writer, no, a horrible director and producer if you were able to ruin a Scooby-Doo show. It's literally so easy to make. But what about, we don't talk about those movies. We don't talk about Velma. As long as I'm concerned, Velma and those other movies don't exist in my eyes. For yellow, I decided I was going to do SpongeBob SquarePants, and my opinion of this show is, it's alright. I don't hate it, but the later seasons have really been falling off. And don't get me wrong, I do love the show, but it just feels like SpongeBob SquarePants is just becoming the new South Park, only loved for its shock value. But despite my love for SpongeBob the original, I just can't stand one particular character. And that one character is Patrick Star. Now you may all be ready to say, Patrick's just stupid. He doesn't know any better. I would just like to remind you that you can no longer use that defense because Patrick has literally said in the past that he only does stupid things because he wants to keep SpongeBob on his toes. Which, if you don't know what that means, basically is him saying, I don't care if I put anyone's lives in danger, because if you know the SpongeBob SquarePants series, you would know that in the original beginning series that most of the episodes started because of Patrick's stupidness, which means every episode beyond and before this point was basically Patrick causing rampages and destroying the city for no good reason. And can we just talk about how horrible a friend Patrick is? And look, SpongeBob isn't no saint. He's an absolute jerk to Squidward once he's happy. But compared to Patrick Star, SpongeBob is a literal saint. Because I don't know about you, but I'm never gonna go over to my friend's house, eat all their food, eat all their pets' food, and then leave that pet starving only to abuse it later. I'm never going to take something that my friend holds in high value and really wants and then destroy it in front of them after I told them they could have it at the end of the day. I'm never gonna put my friends' lives in a difficult situation and then leave them in the dust. But most importantly, I will never ever severely cripple my friend, get them fired from their job, then physically abuse them the entire day under the guise of trying to make them feel better. Then when they're finally sick and tired of my BS, I run away screaming and crying to leave my friend to look like the horrible bad guy in all of this. And if you genuinely still believe that SpongeBob and Patrick are the epitome of best friends, then I think you should go watch the My Little Pony, because that is what true friendship looks like. Okay, for the color green, I decided that I was going to do BMO from Adventure Time. I wanted to choose BMO because out of all of the characters in Adventure Time, he was my favorite. When it came to BMO, there were plenty of things to like about him. You could like him for his silly, cute personality, or you can like him from his honest and bluntness, or you can love him for his millions of other personality traits. But one thing is for certain, I have not yet seen one person that dislikes BMO. Sure, you can tell me that people don't find BMO that funny, or if they don't find him their personally favorite character, but you cannot tell me that you hate BMO. Also, side note, the show is so great at making small characters so interesting, like BMO, Mr. Fox, or any of the Candy Cane citizens. It doesn't matter which characters you like or dislike, once they're on the screen going on their little adventure, you can't help but wonder, why are they in this situation? How did they get in this situation? And man, do I want to see more of this. And a side little story is that when I was first watching this series, I was hooked. Hooked so much to the point that I would watch it every single day. Because, for example, if I were to finish an episode on a really climactic ending and then stop watching it for a couple of days, I would be shaking in my boots wondering what the next episode would be like. Would Finn and Jake still be chasing that guy from the last episode, or would they just be doing random chores for the princess now? I just had to know at the time. This show had become such an addiction to me that I had to be supervised to do my homework because I felt like it was more important to know if Finn, Jake, and BMO and the treehouse was safe more than my mathematics. And I'm gonna say it now, even as an almost going to high schooler, I still think Finn and Jake are more important than mathematics. What, Jessica? Am I going to get an F because I didn't do your math assignment the super duper hard way? The answer is correct. You said the answer was correct. I just didn't do the equation the super duper long extra steps way. Maybe I'll make a video about how much I hate math. Now, before we go on to the rest of the colors, I need you to watch a short film that I made called Money. Hello dear viewer, I'm Ray, but you already know that. Question, do you like art? Are you perhaps a collector of all things cutesy? Or do you just have enough kindness in your heart to support a small creator? If you said yes to any of these questions, then I'm proud to pronounce... Yes, you're right, ladies and gentlemen. Your eyes are not deceiving you. We have merch now. And we have everything you can think of. Stickers and coasters, hoodies and bookmarks. And for my cooking viewers, we also have aprons and oven mitts and so much more. And you might be wondering, Ray, how do I get these amazing merchandise and products? Well, it's very easy, dear viewer. First, step 1, go to the link in the description of my video. Step 2, figure out what type of products you want. Step 3, ask for all the products you want. I will then confirm that you want all these products, and then I will give you the price. Step 4, once I confirm the price with you and you are okay with that price, I will then need to ask you these questions to fill out the form. And don't worry, all information will be deleted as soon as the form is made. And then after that, you just wait for your order to arrive, and then you have your product. But now with that out of the way, you can get back to the video. Okay, for Wander Over Yonder, I decided to do my favorite character, Sylvia. Now, I'm not going to lie, Sylvia was kind of hard to draw. Sylvia is definitely a more lines expert type of character. What that basically means is you better be good at drawing smooth edges every single time, or else she's gonna be coming out looking like this image before you. But I'm going to be honest, Sylvia was hard, but she wasn't that hard. You know, once I started figuring out the right wrist movements that I needed, it actually started to get easier and she actually started to look nicer. But besides the hardness, I really love the show Wander Over Yonder. Wander Over Yonder was my it show. Beyond all platforms, beyond everything, Wander Over Yonder was my it show. I loved it so much. If I wasn't watching Steven Universe, SpongeBob SquarePants, Adventure Time, or anything else, you could bet your bum kiss that I was watching Wander Over Yonder. First of all, the character design is just amazing. You can show me any character within the show and then I would be like, okay, that's Commander Peepers, that's Lord Hater, that's Sylvia, that's Wander, that's one of Sylvia's brothers, and that's the Evil Sandwich. And yes, you heard me right. There was a character called the Evil Sandwich. And did y'all know that there is lore in Wander Over Yonder? Yeah, for a series that likes to play itself as just a slice of life, happy-go-lucky show, there is a lot of lore in it. Like in one episode, it turns out that Wander used to be like a superhero and he has an arch nemesis. Yeah, you heard that right, mister. I love every single body on the planet, good and evil. Mister, I wanna be Lord Hater's best friend. You know, the guy who wants to dominate and enslave people. Mister, I'm only going to hate Lord Dominator unless they're going to do something really bad. Yeah, that guy? Well, it turns out he has an arch nemesis that he really hates. And there's so much more about Wander. You know, if you guys want me to talk about it, you guys can leave a video for me if you want. Okay, so for Dark Blue, I decided that I was going to do Mordecai from the regular show. And I just have to say it right now. Does it feel to anyone else that the regular show universe just hated those two for some reason? Like, for example, Rigby wants to have some good luck, so steals Benjamin's fortune cookie. the world almost ends. Mordecai wants his breath to smell good for his date. He almost ends up freezing it all over because his breath is so minty fresh. Or like in one episode, Mordecai and Rigby literally only try to teach Muscle Man how to do a your mama joke properly, and he tries to freaking kill them. Or how about in the very first episode, where the only thing Mordecai and Rigby did wrong is not stack up the chairs in time and just play video games instead. So the consequence for them is that they literally have to summon a video game god to kill a video game demon, or else the whole park will be destroyed. And look, I'm not saying Mordecai and Rigby are innocent and perfect people here. They are jerks and slackers. But let's be honest here, we would all be jerks and slackers if every time we did anything, the world almost ended. Okay, for purple, I decided to do the literal embodiment of me, who is Chowder. And when I say Chowder is the literal representation of me, I mean food-wise. Like, he'll eat anything, and there's only a select few amount of foods that he won't eat. Also, me and Chowder aspire to be the exact same thing. He wants to be an amazing chef. I want to be an amazing chef. I also just find his design absolutely perfect for my art style. Just a squishy little boy. And the character designs of Chowder is just amazing. I love that every time they move, the patterns on their clothing also move. Like, that had to have been a lot of work for the animators, so hats off to them. Another thing about Chowder that I like is that the show doesn't really take itself too seriously. Like, anytime there's ever a big issue, they take it as a joke because that's what it is, a joke. I also love their absolutely insane fourth wall breaks, like Chowder literally telling Truffles that they're not in this episode and that she just vanishes out of thin air. Or the time Mundal was so annoyed by Chowder's singing that he asked Nitchell to bring in the next scene so we could skip the singing. Or Truffles telling Mundal that he has to hurry up the recipe because they only have 11 minutes exactly in the episode to cook it. In fact, these episodes were so popular that they made an entire episode of fourth wall breaks. In this episode, Chowder points out all the random weird sounding ingredients that they have in this universe, and then using his now big brain morphs reality into something more logical. And I absolutely love the ending of Chowder. People can say all they want that it was rushed, but seeing the show and how its formula operates, it feels like it ended on a very on-brand way to end the show. But hey, that's just my opinion. Do you think they could have ended the show better? Leave your comments down below. And finally, I decided to do Fee for Pink from Harvey Beaks. Now, for the poor children who are now susceptible to brain rot and don't know what quality Nickelodeon was, Harvey Beaks was one of the best shows, in my opinion, run at the time. It was everything a little kid could ask for. A little bit of slice of life, a little bit of morality, and a little bit of adventure all mixed up into one cool show. I don't know why, but I always resonated with Harvey very well. I especially resonated with him when I realized that he was also afraid of heights, just like me. How he's constantly anxious and scared of doing the wrong thing, even if it doesn't really matter in the long haul. And just so many other reasons to like Harvey that y'all should really go get the show a watch. I also love Fee and Foo's portrayal in brother-sister relationships. I think I like this part of Harvey Beaks so much because back in that time, everyone was obsessed with creating brother-sister relationships that either had the siblings hating each other to the point you think that they loathe each other, or have their relationship be so lovey-dovey if you didn't know that they were a sibling pair in the show and didn't watch the show, you think they would be a couple. But not Fee and Foo. Oh no. They were the perfect balance between the two. They loved each other as siblings do, but also got on each other's nerves to the point where they almost broke out into fights multiple times. In my opinion, Fee and Phil are the perfect representation of brother-sister relationships, and if you're planning on making any story with a brother-sister relationship, you should look to them for guidance. Another cool thing about the show is its art. How can you make something look so realistic yet so artsy at the same time? I also love some of the character concept ideas that this show has, like Harvey Beaks, a literal wild animal being afraid of dirt while living in the wild. In general, I love this show a lot, and you should really watch this show if you like really interesting, non-relevant storylines of each other. If you just want a good slice of life show, then you should really watch Harvey Beaks. The only part of the show that I actually hated was when Harvey had a little sister, because that little demon was giving Harvey problems for absolutely no reason sometimes. Like seriously, this little demon baby was out here trying to get Harvey into trouble for literally no reason when all he was trying to do was keep her from choking or dying in her egg. I don't know, maybe I'm just remembering her character wrong, but last time I watched her, she was an absolute gremlin and demon towards Harvey for no reason whatsoever. Well, I enjoyed working on this video. The art and challenge was fun, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you want more of my YouTube videos. Well, that's all for now. See you next time. Bye-bye!